All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, excited to be talking to an individual prominently featured on Absolute MMA 1. It goes in Calgary, Alberta on June 25th. We have Ramil Kamilov and Kris Allard going at it in a pro lightweight bout, and happy to be talking to Ramil on today's show. How's your day going so far there, man?
It's good. My day's good. I just got into Calgary earlier today. Already coached one time. Nothing else.
Yeah, and I imagine you were getting back from a Vegas trip there, training with Showtime Pettis. Is that where you were returning from?
Yes, sir. That's it. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Yeah, that's incredible. I noticed that Showtime Group has been managing you for a little bit now there, and just how has that whole experience been? I mean, I imagine it's been invaluable in a number of different regards, like navigating the business end of things, but also growing what you're doing on a technique and experience end too.
So as far as that goes, Showtime Group is, I couldn't ask for them to be any better for me. They're, how can I say it? They're growing their roster from zero, so they're kind of signing more so like beginner pro fighters out here and building them up from zero. They're helping me out, unlike other management groups. These guys really, they'll put more time into their newer guys. My manager, he talks to me like pretty much almost every day. I know that usually doesn't happen. He's always messaging me stuff, always giving me advice from matchup standpoints, just talking like, we're really good friends. My manager, Damian Rodriguez. Yeah, so talking, giving me marketing advice, giving me sponsor advice, pretty much with anything I can do. Anything to do with fighting.
Yeah, and just getting to compete under, that banner too and everything like that. I mean, just, great looks each time out in your, pro run so far, a pair of outings, and then just the, visibility of being on something like UFC Fight Pass. I imagine that would, help the progression too.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the big things is that Anthony Pettis has a big name, so anything that he does automatically becomes pretty big. Showtime Championship, they only had one show, but I think they're already at like 15,000 followers on there. And the connections that guy has is unreal. His next show, he's trying to run it at the UFC Apex. So, for me to have my fourth pro fight at the UFC Apex and have that experience before I even fight in the UFC or the Contender Series, I mean, that's huge for me.
Yeah, getting in work in a lot of different ways in that Vegas area, both on a competition level and seemingly in some training endeavors, like we mentioned, going to Vegas earlier, and I specifically noticed you were at Extreme Couture MMA. I mean, just innumerable people it seems like you're working with there. I noticed, like, specifically you were working with Jake Shields, which I imagine he's just, sitting under the proverbial learning tree there. Can you kind of talk about your overall Extreme Couture experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be more than happy to. So, Extreme Couture, huge gym. Lots of people, lots of different people from different places. Brazil. There was a few guys from Chechnya, Dagestan, Russia, all over the U.S. Pros of all different levels. UFC Contender Series. It wasn't so much that I learned. Well, actually, I shouldn't say. With Jake Shields, I really did learn quite a bit. The first time I grappled with that guy did to me things that no one's done to me since I was like 19, 20 years old. So, and, even aside from that, I always knew Jake Shields' level. He beat Tyrone Woodley. He beat Damian Maia. He beat Robbie Lawler right before he became the champ. So, not a lot of people know this, but he was doing all the leg tie stuff before Khabib did any of it. And matter of fact, he even showed Khabib a few of those leg tie things, and then that's what changed up Khabib's game. And then Khabib took that stuff and ran it and developed it into his own thing. So I was really getting the juice from the source over there. So, Vegas, very expensive place to be, and I haven't been there before for a good reason. I'm a pretty wild guy, but I'm about to turn 25 right now, so I felt that this was really the perfect time for me to go there, and for an opportunity like this, I really couldn't pass it up. I just left everything I had going on over here at home. I had work, I had this and that going on, so I left all of that, went there, It was perfect because I was going there for a fight trip and not for, just going out, hanging out. So it wouldn't end up so bad. Once again, my management was really good. My manager flew in to actually help me out. Not to help me out, but he was messaging me every day, making sure that everything is going good. He was meeting with me in the evenings, going for dinners. That was helping me, stay on track for sure. So I couldn't really ask for anything else from my management team. As far as Extreme Couture itself, other than Jake Shields, I had one session with Coach Eddie over there. He taught me some good stuff, but then he had to go to Singapore. But other than that, it's not like I learned any new crazy techniques or anything like that. We got really good skill level at Champions Creed over there, and my boxing coach, Ukrainian boxing style, kickboxing style as well, Oleg Zagirsky. He's as good of a striking coach as I've ever met with anyone I've worked with. Lots of people anywhere. I really feel this guy has some special sauce over there. He's teaching me stuff that I haven't seen anywhere else. This guy's as good as they come. But for Extreme Couture, what that place really did for me is I was able to go in there and spar different sort of opponents at different levels. We got, as far as UFC, we got Chad and Helliger at our gym. So he's a little bit smaller than me, so it's not always the best to compare myself to that guy. But we got Hakeem Dawodu, great striker. I've been sparring him since a great, actually, all-around mixed martial artist. I've been sparring him since I was 16 or 17 years old. Almost every week I was a key training partner for him, key sparring partner for him for most of his UFC fights. But going with him, I started to, over the years, I learned his game. I've learned many of his combos. I learned what he likes to do. And so it was really nice to spar other UFC level fighters that were in my weight class, things like that. And I was really very, very happy with how I did with them. I feel like I'm at a very good level, especially for where I'm at in my pro career right now. I feel that as long as I keep going, in this direction, I stay focused, I keep learning, I stay humble, I do everything the proper way. MMA, some people like to take shortcuts, some people like to cheat, but I just got too much respect for the sport. That's for one, to do any of that, like cheating type of stuff or shortcut type of stuff. And anything that you do behind the scenes, eventually it all comes to light. And once again, I got too much respect for the sport. The sport has done for me crazy things. It's turned my life upside down. If I wasn't doing MMA, I wouldn't be nearly in as good of a spot in my life right now as I would be otherwise. But to circle back to Hakeem, that guy is very, very good. I did much better against many UFC level guys at Extreme Couture than I do with him.
Yeah, and you kind of talk about just like the long-term process of it and just looking at it through that kind of lens. I feel like the amateur learning curve probably played a part in that too. And from my perspective, it's cool to see the amateur kind of part of the scene get more fleshed out in like a more grassroots way. I mean, there's still more that can be done going ahead for sure, as there is always just in wanting to develop and refine it. But I feel like that amateur scene has kind of led to some more refined pros that we've seen in the last few years. Can you kind of speak to your experience in the amateur scene, like collecting hardware with like XFFC and just getting some good looks in different title fights with like MFL and stuff like that?
No comment on MFL, but amateur, I think it's a very underrated thing, especially in this part of the world. See, I'm the type of guy that I really put my all into this and more. I do everything possible that I can do, and even things that are not possible, I put all of my money. I really put everything into this. As far as amateur goes, once again, people don't like grinding super hard, and people, they like to show off. They like the flashiness. They want the fast results and fast success with amateur MMA. I was okay. It was cool for me. It was I really embraced being broke and going through the grind and eating mud, eating dirt, putting my face into all of that, and just grinding through it. I wanted to even do more. My coach had told me earlier that he was okay with me going pro, but no, I stayed amateur for longer. I wanted more amateur fights. I wanted more experience in IMAF, but the issue with them is I wanted to do the Pan Ams in 2019, 2020, 2021. And eventually I was like, man, I'm done waiting around for these guys. And I really ran out of amateurs to fight in Canada. I was trying to go to the States, self-pay. I did that with MFL, by the way. I self-paid all my trips out there by myself, and with the help of my sponsors. Shout out Dijla Shawarma, Wiseman Barber, Scalp Tech. They were with me in my amateur days, especially right at the end over there. But yeah, I was down with self-paying. Really, I put myself into debt just to go to IMAF, even though that didn't turn out well for me. God always has a plan, and these things paid off. Even though the IMAF experience, I only had like a 1-minute fight over there. I fought a guy who was 22-1, and I had much less experience. Just being there, seeing things, and I took away a lot from it. I really feel that I'm a fighter who's I'm not just a meathead. I'm technical. I'm intelligent, and I got the right amount of crazy in me as well. That I'm not one of those guys that's just intelligent. I'm risk averse. Like I take risks. I am a bit crazy, but I feel that I have the perfect balance to really take this thing far. If all goes well, I just got to keep doing what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't strike me as a meathead. You seem like you're more into the shawarma and stuff like that for that 155 cut. Are we dipping back into that one, the Dijla shawarma for this cut?
Yeah, I've been, I went to Vegas for 3 weeks. I haven't had any of that, so I'm going to hopefully go later tonight. Well, actually, right after this interview, I'm about to hit that spot.
But yeah, I'm kind of curious if you're someone who does like a fair bit of like tape study on your opponents and stuff like that, just with this Kris Allard fight coming up here. Like, have you been checking out any of his previous fights under the BTC and PFC banner ahead of this one, or more focusing on your own individual refinement and expressing yourself in the cage on fight night?
Well, I'm definitely the type that I use all the resources that are given to me, and I'm creative with all the resources that are given to me. So with his fights, his last fight was in 2020, and I've said this before, it's 2 years since his last fight, so I can't really speak to his skill level and the techniques he likes to do. For situations like that, I look more for attributes, like such as, like if someone has a good gas tank, if they're explosive, the way they fight, the style they fight. Like, I don't expect for him to have the same habits or the same holes in his game. And with that said, I am focusing more on myself. But that guy, he's got a bit of a misleading record. Like many Canadian guys, I find we have misleading records because we haven't had so much opportunities to compete. So you get guys that are stuck in the training rooms forever. I mean, we got amateur black belts out in Nova Scotia at Fight League Atlantic. I look at the regional scene at all levels, at everything. I'm always watching for everything, We had 2 guys over there fight. There were 2 black belts. They were 1-0 as an amateur, It's kind of ridiculous the way it is out here. So you can be fighting a guy that's like, 1-1, 2-1 out here type of deal. But if that same guy was in the U.S., he'd be the same level as a dude that's got a lot more fights. Yeah, as far as Kris Allard goes, he's got a few losses, but all of those were to really good guys. He lost to a 4-0 striker, undefeated prospect. He lost to what's his name, Adam DeFreitas. That guy, that guy's got a bad record, but that guy's a black belt, and I believe he's got professional boxing experience. So really, he seems like an easy fight. But I was when taking that fight, I was like, man, it's not the type of fight that you just run through. It's not the type of fight that, it looks good on paper. It looks tough on paper, but it's easy in the cage. He's the exact opposite of that. He may look easy on paper, but that guy's definitely a tough fight, man. Preparing with everything I got. As always, going with the toughest sparring partners, doing the toughest work I can possibly do, doing everything and more that I can possibly do to prepare for this guy. On June 25th, I'll be ready.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Champions Creed work and stuff like that. Like, how cool is it to get like a localized sort of fight there? Imagine there's going to be a strong like partisan presence there at that fight. Is that something that informs your performance at all? Do you value that? Does it kind of seem inconsequential altogether? Like, how would you describe that?
To be honest, I don't know. I haven't fought in my home city since my amateur debut in 2017, so I can't really say too much on that. The one thing is that I was able to get more sponsors than I usually get because I'm fighting in town. That's why I was able to go to Vegas and, get my stuff there. That actually helped me stay focused while I was out there because in the end of it all, I'm going out there for a large portion of the money that went towards it wasn't my money, it was my sponsors' money. So I kept it in my mind that I got to do it for them. It's not like they sent me out here to do this and that and hang out on the strip and have a good time. They sent me out here to work and to I told myself every single day for about 2-3 weeks leading up to that the strip is all work. It's not leisure. It's all work, and I really got a lot out of it.
Yeah, well, it seems like that work ethic kind of permeates throughout a lot of different things you do. I mean, you own Real Deal Moving there. You're the director of communications for the Canadian Combat Alliance. It seems like the work doesn't stop.
No, yeah, I do that. I also work construction. I work landscaping. Like I said, I do everything I can possibly do and more. And sometimes I'm a bit hard on myself. I beat myself up if one thing or another doesn't work. I'm also in school full time. I'm in school for digital marketing at Bow Valley College because after the pandemic, I had to shut my gym down, stopped everything over there. So I took digital marketing for myself in case another wave or pandemic ever hits. So none of that is stopping me.
Yeah, and when does that kind of wrap up there? It looks like 2023 kind of deal there. Like, is that sort of like when it's going to wrap up? Like, is there a specific month, like maybe like June or something like that?
I don't know because like the winter semester I was pretty much on honor roll over there, but I messed everything up after that. That's actually a reminder I got to sign up for the next semester. But yeah, after January, I had my pro debut, then I went to California. I was a few weeks behind. Then I fought on Showtime Championships. I came back, and it's really hard to focus on anything other than MMA, especially when you start hitting a little bit of success. You start meeting big names. You start to get a taste for what MMA can do for you. Like, you start to see the luxury that it provides some people. You start to, it's all within reach. And then going back after a weekend like that on short notice and trying to read a book on financial accounting and macroeconomics, it's really a tough thing to do. So, yeah, I'm taking a little bit of time off here in the summer, which was unplanned. So I really don't know when I'm going to be done with that. And I'm kind of at a weird spot with it because I'm right pretty much in the half of the program. So I do have to get it done.
Yeah, well, in any event, it seems like you have a lot of cool things on the go there for sure. And I mean, I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up. I know this is an audio interview, but I love the shirt there. Where'd you get the, Chael Sonnen and Vanderlei Silva gimmick there, that I can't let you get close? Where'd you snag that?
Yeah, man. I just looked up online. I actually wanted the t-shirt with Wanderlei's face, and I wanted it to say "Wanna Now," but I couldn't find that. So this was the next best thing I could find, and it's my new favorite t-shirt.
Yeah, it was funny. I only really just noticed it towards the tail end of the interview. I think I mostly saw the text, and then I saw Chael and Vanderlei's head, and I'm like, oh, that's what we got going on there.
Yeah. No, it's a cool shirt. I like it.
Yeah, definitely with it for sure, man. But you've been really great with your time, and it's been fun getting to talk to you. I've been wanting to have you on the show for a little bit now, so cool we could sort that out there. But just in the interest of being mindful of your schedule, man, is there anything you might want to add as a parting thought as we're kind of wrapping up?
Yeah, just that I just want to shout out my sponsors over here real quick. I got quite a few of them. Let me just open up my notes right here. All right, my sponsors. So we got Quality Care Landscaping for all your commercial landscaping needs. I got Stay Safe Apparel. It's a tracksuit company that's coming soon. It's a good fit for me because I'm a real big tracksuit guy. I got at least 10, 12 of them in my closet right now.
Oh, yeah.
These guys make the good stuff. I got Marshall Rogan, INU. Those guys are going to be coming through and sponsoring me. They do something with crypto. I'm not quite sure what, but I know they're giving a lot of fighters lots of money, and they're helping me out. This Vegas trip, man, I got $8,000 on my credit card right now that I don't know how I'm going to pay off, but these guys are going to, all these guys are going to help me out with it. I got DMG Masonry with Will Munson. He was actually one of two of my first Muay Thai striking coaches back when I was 15 at Champions Creek. He runs his own masonry business. He's done a lot of cool work. I've even worked for him once or twice. It's pretty interesting stuff. We got Trax VR. Trax VR is the biggest VR racing arcade in all of Canada, I believe. If not Canada, then Western Canada. Yeah, it is the biggest one in Canada, and they got the biggest Formula One and racing apparel store in Canada as well, right here in Southeast Calgary. Of course, I got Dijala Shawarma. My day one sponsors. I want to give them the biggest shout out. They're the most important guys. I will take them all the way to the end. I've had offers, and by the way, all of my sponsors that I work with, these are people that I truly believe in. I've had different people come approach me to try to sponsor me. I've had bars, I've had cannabis dispensaries, but things that I'm not with them like that. I won't work with them, even though it hurts my wallet. Like I said, I got a lot to pay off after this Vegas trip, but if something doesn't align with me, then I don't connect with them. So we got the shawarma right here. Like, really, they do have the best shawarma that I've ever had. Anywhere I go, any city in the world, Middle East I've been to, I could not find as good of shawarma as they got over there. And I'm just talking real over there. We got Scalp Tech. Scalp Tech is scalp micropigmentation. So it's like tattooing for guys that are balding. He's a great guy as well. Super cool guy, fun guy. I align with him very well. Everything. We got 403 Street Driven. They're Canada's biggest media automotive company, so they just do a bunch of media, like video shoots, things like that, promotion. Wiseman Barbers, great barber, great guy. Then we got Evan Piercy, MMA fighter. He sent me $500. Big thanks to him. We got Ragebox Calgary. So it's like a moving van, a mobile moving van that you can you just pay a little bit of money, and then they provide you with TVs or chairs or furniture or whatever stuff you want, and then you can get a hammer or a bat or whatever weapon you want, and you just break stuff. It's a stress reliever for some people, especially people that work an office job. I cannot imagine the amount of tension they go through a 9 to 5. I could really never do it. They think people say MMA is hard. That would be hard. That would be hard for me. So check Ragebox out. Those guys are good. We got my physio, Rehab on Tap. She's sorry, I got so many sponsors over here that I gotta go over. I hope it doesn't.
No, don't be sorry, man. This is a good situation. Keep her going.
Yeah, so we got my physio, Rehab on Tap, Christine Mack. She's a purple. Well, she might even be a brown belt by now, but she's a really good physio in town over here for fighters, because I can go in there and I can be like, hey, I was put into this position. I was put in an armbar. I was put in a kimura. I twisted weird and half guard, and she'll know exactly what I was saying, and she would have had 20, 30 guys before me come through and have the same issues. So she's really great for that. She's really no BS. You go to physios and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They clear you too quick because they don't know the demands of our sport. Fight League Atlantic sent me some money. Those guys, probably the least shadiest MMA promotion in Canada from my experience. Caliente Hot Sauce. I really like their hot sauce. So what happened with them was I went to Co-op. They had their hot sauce on discount. They had a nice looking container. I really liked it. Well, I say I really liked it. It just was an attractive looking container on discount. I tasted it and I was like, man, this is the hot sauce that I like now. And these guys didn't know me or anything. I hit them up through Instagram, talked to them a bit. First time around, they didn't really give me too much, but their hot sauce is really my favorite hot sauce out there, and everything they use is fresh. It's there's no preservatives whatsoever. It can't be put in the pantry because it will get ruined. You have to put this one in the fridge. You have to keep it refrigerated. It's at Save On Foods and Co-op. It's right in the produce aisle. So it's not on the grocery shelf. It's in the produce because it's just that fresh. And yeah, that's all. That's all I got.
It sounds like you're in a good situation with the sponsors there, and a lot of those sound great. I saw the picture of the hot sauce, and I was like, I gotta get a little situation hooked up there because I'm a big hot sauce guy myself, so I'll have to try to get something like that going too.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. And you know what? I'm actually working for them to send the box over to Digital Shawarma, and hopefully those two can work together. That's a good little collaboration right there.
Yeah, that would be a cool collab to see for sure, but this is going to be a cool fight at Absolute MMA 1, and anyone in the Calgary area should check that out on June 25th there. Ramil Kamilov and Kris Allard are going to put on a good fight. If their previous track records are any indicator, and I've seen both of you guys fight a few times now, and just really looking forward to checking it out, and thanks for coming on and giving some insights there, man. You have a good rest of your night. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for your time, Dylan.